I hope your day is full of frogs and puddles and sparkles and rainbows and giggles and weed. What's up, guys? It is I, Shank, popping in from Shanksville for an all new episode of Shank with yours truly. It's a Shank X Shank episode. Okay, before we get into this week's episode of Shank X Shank, where you will leave getting shanked, I gotta tell you about my shows I have coming up. All right, Friday, that's this Friday. I believe it is I don't know. Let's see, I think it's the 16th. This Friday, the 16th, if that's the 16th, I have a show in Glendale. I'm also going to be at the Bourbon Room next Monday in Hollywood. I'm going to be at the Brea Improv December 21st. And I'm going to be in Austin, Texas. Yeehaw. I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, January 6th, 2023. We're taking this bitch on the road. We're doing this bitch live at Vulcan Gas Co. Plus, we're also co-headlining. So if you haven't seen Kim and I do a longer set and you're in Texas, come out. It's worth the drive. We're going to make it really fun and really special, and I hope you can be a part of it. Okay. Also, Yuma, Arizona. If you're in Arizona and you want to see your favorite girls, Kimmy and Shank, do 30 minutes of stand-up, then come on out to Yuma, Arizona. More info on that, all about that on my Instagram at Princess Shank, at Princess Shank. That's princess like normal and then another SHENK. Okay, that's where you can find all my shows. You can also follow me on Twitter at Princess Shank for more show updates and jokes and all kinds of things like that. Plus, I post my podcast every week on my Instagram and my Twitter as well. All right, let's get into this week's episode of Shank. Actually, first, you know what you need? You need socks. You might ask me, Sarah, why do I need socks? I have enough socks. You don't have socks like these socks, okay? You don't have Oh Yeah socks. Head over to ohyeah.com. Oh yeah, that's 3 O's, HYEAH.com. Shop ohyeah.com. Discount code Sara, SARA 10 for 10% off unique sock designs. Whether you're into the Brady Bunch or Mr. Rogers or aliens or cacti or sushi or gnomes, there's a pair of socks for you. Whether you're into mushrooms or sports or whatever you're into, whatever your friends are into, there's a pair of socks for them for the holidays. And they make great stocking stuffers. So head over to ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's, HYEAH.com. Discount code Sara, SARA 10 for 10% off sock designs. Give the unique gift of Oh Yeah socks this year. Okay? If you have a Secret Santa and you're looking for something to give with a gift card, give a gift of socks and support your favorite podcast. If you're looking for cute and fun, affordable stocking stuffers, give the gift of socks. Oh, yeah. That's 3 O's, HYEAH.com. Discount code Sara, SARA 10 for 10% off. All right. Should we get into this week's episode of Shank X Shank? Let's do it. Okay, so I got sent some questions from you guys. I don't know if any of them are good. I'll be honest. Sometimes I get questions and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Okay. You know what? Before we take questions, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's weather women and weather men. How is it that these people still have jobs in 2022? I'm all for employing people over robots. I'm all for employing people over drones. However, do we really need weather men and weather women in 2022? When I'm watching the news, I'm looking at a dinosaur. I'm looking at a relic from the past, baby. When I'm watching Dallas Reigns, first of all, we all know that's not his real name, right? When I'm watching Dallas Reigns do his thing, I'm thinking, it doesn't seem hard. We already have the weather in our phones. How is this job still happening? Okay. I know that a lot of the weather women have huge titties. I know this because I see my dad watching the weather a lot. So I do think that the weather women are for men, for boomer men who are trying to see some titties. Um, yeah, they just turn on the 7-day forecast so they can look at something besides their wives. All right. Well, this is a Wednesday's episode of Shank, my lovers, my friends, my little Shanksters. I'm tired of hearing about who Pete Davidson is fucking. Like, I just don't care anymore. We get it. Pete Davidson fucks. He should just get a shirt and wear it around that says I fucks. Pete fucks. I'm gonna drop merch that just says Pete fucks in case you guys haven't noticed. Pete Davidson, he's been getting it in left and right. People care more about who Pete Davidson is fucking than the Ukraine war right now, and that's a problem for me. That's a problem. When people are like, he was fucking Kim, now he's fucking Emrata, whatever. Kim, Emrata, I don't know. I don't care. You know? I still have bills to pay. It doesn't matter where Pete Davidson's dipping his dick. I still have to pay my bills. Okay? Children's chopsticks. Nothing's more embarrassing than having to use children's chopsticks. You know what I'm talking about? You know, if you go to a Japanese restaurant and they kind of have, they've hacked the chopstick for children so that it's easier to use. Like, there's like a rubber band that's holding it together and like a little piece of paper in between. And it's just a lot more grippy and easy to use. It's for children whose fine motor skills haven't really fully set in, and me. Okay? Also, sometimes when I'm out eating like Japanese food with somebody and I notice that they're making their life harder by using chopsticks, I think let's just scale this back. Let's just use a fork. Is that closed-minded? Does it change the experience to fork your sushi into your mouth? I don't know. 'Cause there's just some days when a fork is what I need, baby. You know what I mean? I don't want to make myself look like an asshole with chopsticks. I don't need my fine motor skills tested on a date. It's so embarrassing to drop a chopstick full of sushi while you're on a date. Like, to lose some rice and some seaweed and like try to eat it and it's already falling apart because your chopstick work is weak. You know, I'm trying to have a better chopstick game in 2023. That's what's on my vision board. If you have a vision board, you need to hide it. You have to hide it from people. You should look at it all the time, but don't let other people see it. Because if I walk into a man's living space and there's a vision board on there, what if you walk into someone's space and you're on their vision board? That would be trippy. I don't think I would like that. Like, it would be weird to be on someone's vision board unannounced. Like, if you're on someone's vision board and you don't know, and then you go over there and it's like your second time hanging out and you look up and you're on their vision board, you're like, whoa, did you manifest me coming to your house? That's too trippy for me. Okay, well, I wasn't planning on getting into vision boards being on someone's vision board and having no idea and then finding out. Like, how do you act if you go, oh, I see I'm on your vision board? Weird. Like, what do you say? I think you leave. I think if I go over and I'm on someone's vision board, I leave. Is that bad? Does that mean I'm avoidant? I don't know. Maybe I am. You know what I mean? I also think, okay, because everyone talks about these attachment styles, right? It's like anxious, avoidant, or secure. Okay? I don't know where these secure attachers are. I'm hearing about these different attachment styles. I'm hearing about anxious attachment. I've seen that. I've seen a little too much of that. And I've seen a lot of avoidant attachment. I would say 90% of men in Los Angeles are avoidant attachers. So I don't know where the fuck the secure attachers are, because I'm out here, I'm looking under sports jerseys. I'm looking in line at the coffee shop. I'm looking at Whole Foods. I'm trying to find these secure attachers. And here's the thing. I don't think they're out here. Okay? I'm trying to see someone who's figured out their core wounds. And I don't think that person's out here either. It's starting to get a little bit, things are looking bad is what I'm saying. People say that there's people that have secure attachment styles, and let me tell you, I haven't found one in LA. Am I shouting? Yes, I am shouting, because when I start talking about fuckboys, I get emotional. Sorry for getting emotional. A solo podcast where you can really see the true layers of Shank. You guys get to see it all, baby. My worst first date is when, this is my fault for actually putting myself in this situation. Not me blaming myself. Let me take that back. Fuck this guy. He took me on the worst first date ever. I met him at Ralph's, the grocery store. Because the way that I met him, though, was obscene. I followed him around because I was convinced that it was Ryan Gosling shopping in Ralph's. And let me tell you, I don't think Ryan Gosling shops at Ralph's. And this definitely wasn't Ryan Gosling. But because I followed this man from aisle 4 to aisle 7 like a fucking sociopathic psycho, when he finally looked up and he wasn't Ryan Gosling, I was already there. You know what I mean? I was already there. And I was like, oh, you're not Ryan Gosling. And he's like, you thought I was Ryan Gosling? And then he's like, do you want to go on a date? And then I said, yeah. So then he took me on a date, and he looked nothing like Ryan Gosling. He was Ryan Gosling if Ryan Gosling was from Oklahoma, okay, with bad skin. Same hair. If you covered up his face, he had the hairline of Ryan Gosling, and that's about it. Everything else couldn't be more different than Ryan Gosling. But I had already embarrassed myself, so now I'm committing to going on a date with not Ryan Gosling. I can't even remember his name. So I'm on a date, right, with not Ryan Gosling, and he takes me to, where does he take me? He takes me to the movie theater, not to see a movie, but to eat. Okay, he took me to eat in the dining area of a movie theater. That's fucking weird. That's a weird move. Why am I eating Chinese chicken salad at the movie theater? We're not seeing a movie. It was just such a weird choice, and it made the date so much weirder than it needed to be. I mean, it was already going to be weird because the way that we met was so weird. Of like me being disappointed that he wasn't Ryan Gosling. Like already I'm disappointed. And like, I don't know what in my head I would have done if it was Ryan Gosling. That's also a mental illness for sure. Like if it was Ryan Gosling, first of all, how annoying would it be to be approached at Ralph's? You're running out for some mouthwash. You're running out for some condoms. Because I'm sure Ryan Gosling uses condoms with his wife. You're running out for some late night. You have a craving for ice cream. I don't think Ryan Gosling eats ice cream, but if he was going to eat ice cream, I think he would have Ben and Jerry's. So yeah, he's out. He's running into the store for Ben and Jerry's ice cream late night and a pack of condoms so he can safely fuck his wife. And he runs into me. I'm going to disrupt Ryan Gosling's evening to introduce myself. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. Being in your 20s is a lot different than being in your 30s. In your 20s, you don't really think as much about the repercussions of your behaviors. I'll be honest. I made so many bad choices in my 20s. It was like, I just kept repeating the same bad choices. And then I would be floored when things went bad. I'd be like, I don't understand why this went bad. It was like, oh, okay. You're literally continuously repeating the same mistakes. I think it's interesting how, especially with dating, a lot of times you get the same lesson until you learn from it and let it go. And then finally you can call something new into your experience. But otherwise, I'm just out here. In my 20s, I would repeat. I would have a pattern of toxic men. I'd be like, oh, hey, I can change him. This pussy can change him. You know, no pussy's going to change a toxic man. He has to want to change himself. A little bit of therapy live from Shank, from Shanksville. Can you tell I've been going to therapy? What else do I have to talk about? Someone wants to know my favorite movies. Okay, so here we go. True Romance, Goodfellas, and Almost Famous. Those are my top 3, baby. Someone wants to know, is there a way to, how do you stick out in the dating world? And then I thought of something that somebody did that did make me pay attention to them more, was that they messaged my friend about me, and my friend was like, oh, this guy messaged me about you. And that was an interesting way of going about it, because it was making me like pay attention to him in a way that maybe I wouldn't have if he hadn't messaged my friend. So that's one way you can stand out amongst the herd. I don't know. That's just, I'm done. I'm done with the 4 p.m. sunset. It's too much. It's making me sad. Why is the sun going down at 4? Okay, it's weird, it's dark, it's depressing. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I just brushed my teeth and the sun's going down. It's weird. It's so weird. I had a show early, like a 6 o'clock show, and I was like, that's so early. And then I realized that the sun was already going to be down, so it ended up being fine, but still weird. Have you ever seen somebody with such bad posture it makes you stand up more straight? I saw someone bent over like a damn question mark the other day. I looked at him and I said, oh shit, I didn't know it could get that bad. It was inspiring. His posture was so bad, it inspired me to be a better stander. I suddenly became like a ballerina. I was like tucked in. My hips were lined up. Everything was straight as fuck. Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know your posture is bad, when you inspire somebody else to be less hunched over. What a trendsetter he was. I said, you know what? I don't want to look like that. That's how I stopped sucking my thumb too as a child. My mom told me that if I didn't stop sucking my thumb, I was going to have buck teeth, like this girl who was also in my ballet class. And then within the next week, I had already stopped sucking my thumb. Okay, when I see worst case scenario example, it straightens me up. That's who I am. Also, lower your expectations this Christmas season. Some of you have expectations. You're putting them on your significant other. You're putting them on your friends. You're saying, if he doesn't get me, if this motherfucker doesn't get me a cashmere sweater for Christmas, I'm done. I'm leaving, you know? And that's where you're going to get disappointed, because people just do the best that people can do. And people are all human. So assume that, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's what I say about the holidays. I say I go in with a plan and I have an open heart, and the rest just plays out the way it's going to play out, okay? More advice about the holidays on the next episode of Shank. Guys, this is a short episode of Shank. It's a Shank times Shank solo episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If there's a special guest you want to hear on the show, sound off in the comments below. Let me know who you'd like to hear on Shank. If you're in LA, come out. I'll be at the Glendale Room Friday. And I will be at Brea Improv 12/21, and then Austin, Texas 1/6/23, and then Yuma, Arizona 1/27/23 with Kim Congdon. Come out, support live comedy, and we'll see you next time on Shake. Thank you. Bye.